I love Mondays most of the time because to me, Mondays are like the start of a lot of new opportunities,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
Some people wake up and they're like, "Oh, it's Monday. I gotta go to work," and I'm like, "Dude, it's Monday. Let's see how we can change the world today.
Exactly.
What kind of impact are we gonna make, or what am I gonna learn, or who am I gonna teach?
Ooh, that's good.
How many people do I get to teach this week?" Now, sometimes, like in July, it rained for like 3 weeks straight. I don't always feel that way. But
Yeah.
most of the time, I really do. Like Mondays they start everything off.
Do you have a goal? Like, how many people do you want to help teach and educate and put onto this organic way of taking care of your lawn?
So, I never really thought about quantifying it before. Right? But now that you say it, it's like, okay, I know I want like 200 monthly fertilizing customers in my local area. I want, honestly, okay, here's a big, hairy, audacious goal.
Mm-hmm.
I want to compete with Scott's.
Okay.
Okay? I want to compete. Not just me, but I want to build a business, a brand, a company, a message, everything that competes with the people that tell you to kill it. I want to tell you to feed it.
To feed it.
That's right.
Yeah. And if you're a competitor with them, that means, that you figured out a way to get your message across
all over.
Yeah, everywhere.
Right? And so, think about the other side of that, right? Some people might say, "Oh, that's a big business, that's a lot of money or whatever." But I'm like, can you imagine the impact though? Mm-hmm. Instead of so many people buying knots, they're buying stuff like super soil conditioner and improving their soil biology and biodiversity and helping to make an impact on cleaner air, soil, and water.
That's awesome.
How amazing would that be? Right?
That would be really cool, yeah. And what is that? If that's the case, the environment we'll see an improvement. Our area, your customers, and everything. It makes a difference in the actual impact of our environment.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only that, not just our environment, but our own personal health. Right.
Yeah.
What about our own personal health and the health of our families and our animals?
Yeah.
Right. What about the dramatic decrease in people taking their dogs to the vet because they had skin allergies or something like that? I was reading a little bit the other day because, I have a beautiful red husky. I take him for walks around the neighborhood, and sometimes I notice he gets a little sick, and sometimes he doesn't. I swear it's almost on the pathway we walk. Okay.
Okay.
And then I was doing some homework, and if you read up what some of the reactions are to herbicides, it says as much as vomiting, diarrhea, seizures. And those are just the instant ones, right? That's pretty nasty stuff. I don't want my dog having seizures and vomiting and diarrhea. It's not healthy and it's gross.
Yeah.
So I was like, why do we need that? No, I want people to have healthy animals. Because then there's the economic impact too. What about all these people saving literally thousands of dollars? So if it's thousands of people, it equates to millions of dollars being saved because their animals are healthier. Wow.
And everybody's happier.
Yeah.
Including your pets.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Skip. He's so happy playing in the yard. And he doesn't have a freaking rash.
Yes. Okay, so last week you texted me and just said Clover is my best friend, and I was like, hey, what's up, AJ? What's going on? You're like, this is the topic. It's important. Let's get into that. What does that mean? So I think of clover. I think, it's a 4-leaf clover. I remember being a kid trying to pick them. I found one in 3rd grade one time at recess, and some kid got mad and jealous and took it and flushed it down the toilet. True story.
Really?
True story. Yeah.
Are you serious?
This is a true story. And that's what I think of. That's when I think of Clover. And so that could have been my best friend, but I kind of have some bad feelings whenever it comes to Clover. So if I see it in my yard, sometimes I get, that flashback to 3rd grade, and things don't really feel that good for me. So I want to know, how is Clover? How can it be my best friend?
So a lot of ways.
Yes.
All right. One of the ways is Clover is a legume. All right. like a bean, like a potato.
Okay.
Which means it fixes nitrogen from the atmosphere and puts it into the soil. All right? It's a natural free fertilizer.
Which nitrogen? That's what those fertilizer bags. Like one of those numbers.
The first number.
Okay.
Right? Is the first number. It's usually known as the primary macronutrient.
Okay.
Right? Is nitrogen, NPK. Well, the number one thing that clover is going to basically almost naturally force feed your soil is nitrogen. And when I say force feed, I don't mean it like, boom, it's giving it too much or something, but it's pulling it in from the atmosphere. If you pull up clover, you'll see these little white nuggets, right? And those are nodules of nitrogen, right? And then they feed specific sets, and I didn't look this up. I can, but and I will for next time. They feed specific sets of beneficial microbes, which, we talk about supporting soil biology, all that good stuff. Well, what better than to like boost up good beneficial microbes in the soil? And then the other thing is they help essentially kind of mine up other, minerals, right? So just like us, plants, the more they have everything that they need, they essentially have a better immune system, right?
Yeah.
So if clover is really dominant in your lawn, then that means you're getting natural sources of all kinds of minerals and goodness into your topsoil, which is going to help essentially the immune system of your soil and your grass to help further prevent pest and disease issues for free.
Yeah.
For free, people.
People pay a lot of money to have a nice lawn, and so that's a free tip. So clover can be your best friend, your free best friend, and it's probably already in your yard right now.
Or it could be. You can even buy clover seed. Even the company I just told you about. Like, the funny thing is, if you look up benefits for clover, they even have an article on it.
Oh, yeah,
okay?
They do, yeah.
They do, okay? And they sell clover, but the funny thing is there isn't an ad to buy their other crap. Like,
to kill it.
Kill the disease and this crap. I'm like, this is such a jacked up deal,
Yeah.
But also think about, if you ever see clover patches, look at the grass itself. The grass is always the thickest, the lushest. It doesn't get harmed by, like, heat, right? Because that clover is helping also, like, open up the soil, retain moisture. So you can look at lawns, and then these you'll be like, why is this grass all green? Oh, you got clover there, and all your rest of your grass is dead and dry and drought and crunchy and feels like nasty under your feet, But you go walk in clover, and it's soft.
Yeah.
Like, go touch it, go clip it, and it smells good when it's cut. And also, it's a natural, like, pollinator-friendly plant. I mean, what do you go buy at the grocery store sometime? Clover honey, right? I mean, people say, hey, support the bees, save the bees, all the stuff with the bees. Well, clover's the bee's knees at, like, helping out the friggin' bees.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever you cut that, like, if you go over and you cut the clover, it automatically helps, like, just get that stuff going, or how does that work?
That's a good question. So anytime clover, especially, or even dandelions, okay, dandelions have good properties in soil too. Yes, when you do cut it, there's going to be nutrients in those clippings. So they're going to slowly get spread across wherever you are cutting. Now, if you've been in lawn maintenance like I have, you'll also know that, what do you call it? Like, when it's really, really thick, clover's wet, and so, yes, it's clumpy. But if you're giving it a regular mowing and it's getting mulched up nicely and spreading across stuff, you're slowly, like, increasing the quality of the content of your whole topsoil, right? And that's what most of us really don't have, is true topsoil. We got bank sand, builder sand, this sand, bed mix, whatever, but topsoil is like something that most people don't understand, and with every new development, it's getting literally scraped away. And so it's like, let's build this back up, because that couple inches of your soil is like, that's where either life ends or begins a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so what happens, like, I do lawn top dressings, right? I posted this picture on Saturday. These pictures, I did work starting in August. So this month, a year ago, on this lady's house over in Webster, looked terrible. Okay. Did our lawn restoration package. 14 days later, drastic difference, but definitely not where we wanted it, you know? A year later now, I have looked back at those pictures and I got it all lush and thick and green. And she's like, oh yeah, AJ, I really literally have the best lawn in the neighborhood. And it was a bumpy ride, to be honest, you know, up and down, weather, drought, freeze, rain, blah, 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 right? We got all these conditions to deal with. But now we're rolling into August and she's like, we got the healthiest one.
Yeah, I'm going to say that your lawn has to be pretty bad if you have to call somebody and say, I need the lawn restoration package. But that's the reality for a lot of people. And the first step is realizing, hey, I need to do something because I don't want to have the worst lawn on the block.
Well, okay, that's true. But it really, even the lawn restoration package, you don't have to have the worst lawn. It can still enhance your lawn drastically.
Even if you have a pretty good one?
Yeah. You know, a mediocre lawn, boom, it'll give it a boost. It's like an excellent long-term feeding, still helps drastically improve your soil structure, adds nutrients, biology. Like, we give it the whole shebang. Mm-hmm. And one freaking foul swoop, boom.
Yeah.
You know?
One thing you were talking about earlier was the immune system of the lawn. You think of it, how important it is to have a healthy immune system whenever it's like flu season or, you know, with COVID and all this stuff going on. I never really thought about that when it comes to the grass and the environment. You know, our bodies, you know, there's a lot of information out there and it's like, is this true? Is this true? But whenever it comes to the lawn, how does that immune system work? I guess just disease and chinch bugs come in. As long as your lawn's healthy, it has the right ways to fight that stuff off.
To fight it off, to prevent it. But also I look at it like this, okay? And this is something I've said before, but hey, it never hurts to be said again, is that it's not if something is going to happen, because there's too much out there on the market with prevention. Prevent the bugs, prevent the weeds, prevent the this and that and that, prevent the fungus. Here's the funny thing, and here I'll bet you my bottom mother freaking dollar, homeboy, is all that prevention stuff, long term, is going to cause it. All right? Because it's not a matter of, like, if. It's just a matter of when. And by building up a healthy soil biology and a healthy soil immune system, it's more about how fast can it bounce back and how much is it going to impact it. So it's like, do you get a little cold or do you get put in the freaking hospital?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. That makes sense. So, like, these things, they will happen, but then how healthy you are, your lawn or your body will be able to recover, fight it off. It'll just be a hiccup or you're down for the count.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like, oh, totally, I got chinch bugs and totally destroyed my whole lawn, or oh, I got chinch bugs and we got a dead patch.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Can you bounce back, or it takes out the whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's not a matter of if or prevention. It's just like, it's going to happen. Let's try and do our best to reduce the impact.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so something else that you talked about earlier at the beginning was super soil conditioner, and also about some of the Hippie blends. And we talked about this, I think that was maybe 2 weeks ago or so. We talked a little bit about the super soil conditioner, but I don't think it was out.
No, but guess what?
What?
It's available now, man.
You can get it now.
Yeah.
So what is it? How can you get it?
So you can get it on my website, hippiefertilizing.com. Go to the Buy Here page. Click on Super Soil Conditioner. Get a bag. What is it? It's something that I've been working on for a while. Like, I like certain products. I like what they do. I like what they have. But I always thought, like, okay, I like this part and this part and this part. How can I put it all together? And so now I put it all together.
It's all done. So everything, this is your own special blend, your own special mix. This is from years and every day going out there, trying out different things, finding something that works.
Right. And then also, like, blending stuff together and finding out, hey, this is really good, and this is really good, and this is really good. What happens when you put them together?
Okay.
Shebang.
So you get that, does it come in a big bag, or what does it look like
it's
when you get it?
It's a 50-pound bag, 50-pound white bag. If you got, like, a good lawn, you'd want to put down, like, 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet. If you got a really rough lawn, which is what I deal mostly with, you want to put down like 25 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Okay, because it's to condition the soil, it's to feed the microbes, it's to boost everything. It is to help improve your soil structure. I mean, we got the regular goodies: humates, molasses, seaweed, yucca, which, you know, you may have heard a little bit more about molasses, seaweed, and humates, which is like sugars for the soil, plant growth hormones for your grass and your plants. Humates just helps do all kinds of freaking awesome stuff in soil, but then yucca helps penetrate the soil deeper, okay, and helps break that surface tension. But then there's like two different biological inoculants, right, that help boost the soil, boost the root zone, what's called your rhizosphere. So like the little tiny area around a plant's roots is what's supposed to be the most biologically active, right? And soil, like you can get samples of soil, and if it's not next to roots, you're still going to get a lot of stuff. But if it's right next to a root zone, it's going to like be 10 times more. Okay? And when we're talking about microbes and fungi and all that stuff, 10 times more is like going from, you know, billions to like trillions of a difference in the amount of microbes and stuff. And that's what it does. It helps things colonize around your root zones so that these microorganisms help solubilize minerals and give it food and protect it, because it's like it's its home, right? It's its source. Like, you know how we want to protect our economy and our home? Well, that's exactly what freaking microbes do with plants when you feed them right, right? Because that's their home and their economy and their their livelihood. So they do everything they can to be like, get away from me. I'm going to protect this. But then we put stuff like Disease X out and kind of ruin that process.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at the website right now. I have it pulled up. So hippiefertilizing.com. I went to the top, buy here. It has all these different products. There's some that are labeled, you know, done for you. You know, Hippie Blend. You can have that done for you. You can buy a bottle and applicate it yourself. So for the Super Soil Conditioner, is that something you have to be in our area? Do you ship it? Do you deliver it? How do you get it once you order it?
I'll deliver it. If you're in our area, especially right now, I deliver it and put it down for you. Okay? No, I don't ship it yet. Shipping 50 pounds is expensive.
Like it's heavy, yeah.
Okay? So we hadn't quite worked out that kink yet. I have been fortunate, though. I had a guy come down from Katy and get some.
That's cool, yeah.
That's really cool. Had a guy from Conroe be like, who follows me on Facebook, dude, I want your stuff. How can I get it?
Yeah.
We got it to him, you know?
Yeah.
So I was fortunate to get some pre-sales and got some stuff out there. And I will say, like, you know, I've basically been putting this blend together for a little while now, and I will say the results, the effectiveness of what's going on in our monthly lawns right now and our lawn restoration packages and everything, like, the results are booming this year. They've been good for a while, obviously, right? But I mean, when it comes to perfecting this craft, I'm always like, okay, I like this. How can I tweak this? And so I've been tweaking it for a while now, and I got it like honed in. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And now we're about to take the lawn restoration package and the top dressing to one little bump up. And it's going to get to the next level.
How exciting is that? Do you think back, you know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even like 10 years ago in your life, and look at the point where you're at, and does it seem real? Or how does it make you feel?
So oftentimes I'm like too in my head to even think about that.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't see it as often, but I know people who know me and they're like, AJ, dude, do you remember where you came from? And I'm like, yeah, it was miserable.
Yeah.
Right? But, you know, then I do take a step back and I think about that. And I think about what brought me here, from mowing lawns to weed-eating lawns to bushes and pulling weeds out of flower beds and putting in mulch and colored mulch. Ugh, it's disgusting. And doing all this stuff. And I think now, like, man, I'm so blessed. Like, all that stuff brought me here. Because I started out mowing grass and doing all that stuff. And then, like I've said before, I got sick one time using freaking herbicides, literally, and got into organic fertilizing. The first year, I mean, I was just honestly like praying to God, like, please let this work. You know, I know I'm doing something here, but I don't know exactly how to do it. And so the first few years have been like perfecting the process. And now, like, again, there's still going to be stuff that happens. There's nothing that's perfect. There's no guarantee, 'cause, like, we can't guarantee the weather, if your lawn dude's going to scalp the lawn or whatever. But it's so drastically improved. I'm so happy that I've been super stubborn about it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to stop me no matter how many times I get asked how to kill the weeds. I'm not deterred. I'm not killing weeds.
Yeah.
You know, because it's been a lot, man. There's been people who have, like, you know, essentially fired me because I'm like, I'm not killing your weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, then we don't know what you can do for us, AJ. Well, I don't either. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to give up on my values to, like, keep your business and harm both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
You mentioned there's some things you can't control, like we can't control the weather. When it does come to your lawn, what can you control that I guess will put you in the best situation?
One of the best things, and again, like, it needs to be repeated, I guess, like a million times, because predominantly we have St. Augustine around here, okay? St. Augustine, like the joke I like to say, is like a hippie, okay? Likes to be high, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 4 inches or more on St. Augustine will prevent 90% of your problems, okay? Just simply by letting it grow longer, because there's always a direct translation with how healthy the roots are and how long St. Augustine grass is. It's not the same as Bermuda. Bermuda grows in rhizomes and in all different functions, but St. Augustine grows through stolons, and it creeps across the grass, not in the soil, right?
Right.
So how it grows is different. It can handle this freaking Texas heat when it's like 4 inches or more. 2 inches, boom. Nice heat wave, drought. You forget to water for a week, good night. Your grass is brown.
Yeah.
And you're about to frown.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's one of the things you can't control is leave it higher. You got St. Augustine grass, and that's something, and I've told you multiple times, this year, whenever the grass started growing again, that's one thing that I was doing. I was like, hey, I'm going to let it grow a little bit higher. What's funny is I see some of my neighbors, you know, they're mowing themselves or they got a crew out there, whatever it is, and I see them, you know, mowing it super low.
Oh.
And I want to go over there and be like, hey, you know, but I don't want to be like a pushy, weird neighbor and be like, hey, we'd do a lot better. I've seen a noticeable difference since I let it grow a little bit higher. And I bet for you, you know, being out in the field or just talking to a lot of people, you're driving to a job, you know, you see somebody else, you just want to go over there and be like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that.
Oh, man. All the time. You know, or they're out spraying stuff, spreading stuff, and I'm like, do you know what you're doing? You know that thing that you're trying to fight? Would you just quit fighting it for a minute and watch what happens? Even my buddy, my best friend, he's part owner of Tires by Design in Seabrook. Well, he has a house in Link City, right, off of Louisiana. His house, like, we've done a little bit of stuff over the couple years of him living there. Raked it out a little bit, fed it a little bit, not much. He's kind of like, you know, I'm busy working, I got my things to do, I let the grass grow.
Yeah.
The neighbor straight up told him, your grass looks so good and so thick, it must be choking out all the weeds. This dude is putting down some weed and feed once a month. Okay?
Yeah.
Literally, like, out there mowing his grass twice a week, you know, and I'm just like, and my buddy tells me the whole dialogue of what they had, and he's trying to tell him, like, just leave it alone and watch what happens.
That should be the goal, that your grass and your lawn is so healthy that it chokes out the weeds, not the opposite.
Chokes out the weeds, but not only chokes out the weeds, that, like, it requires less from you, right? I would rather you, like, buy less fertilizer from me because it's so healthy than buy more junk because you're trying to fight something, you know? Like, I'd rather have more people buying less than more people buying more and more and more and destroying it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And sometimes just leaving it alone. And I think I mentioned this to you before, but sometimes driving down the road. Like, I just got back with my family. We were in Round Rock for a week. And, you know, just going down the street, sometimes there's, like, nothing there but grass. And I look at it, and I'm like, it's so green. It's so long. it's just like healthy, flowing in the wind and stuff. And then I look at what I've done in the past, or what my neighbors do, and all the stuff and chemicals, and you're like trying to get it to look like that, and it's been untouched. Out there, it looks beautiful, right?
Untouched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Leave it alone. Watch what nature does. Support nature, right? It's incredible. And it's just the thing that baffles me the most sometimes. The more I learn and the more I implement what I learn, is like, it's really simple. We make it real complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all need to quit tripping. And if Clover, okay, if Clover stresses you out, please reevaluate what you got going on. Because no plant on the planet of the earth in your lawn should bring you stress, anxiety, nasty feelings, right? Like, Clover is beneficial. Even things that I'm not even that much of a fan of, right? Like Dallas grass and crabgrass, they're beneficial, right? Have you ever pulled out some crabgrass?
I have, yes.
You've seen those roots?
Oh, they're pretty strong.
Dude, they're like octopus tentacles reaching down into the earth.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, look at how this is opening up the soil. Okay?
Yeah.
Look at how much, so when it rains, you got this bigger cavity where water can go into instead of sheeting off, right? So it's capturing more moisture, right? It's ripping down deeper, feeding exudates into the soil, feeding microbes, further improving topsoil, right? But again, our common mentality is like, it's a weed. I'm like, no, things have an ecological benefit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we all need to go plant crabgrass, okay? I get it. You don't like it, I don't like it, or whatever, but I just don't want people out there harming themselves over a plant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, your health is up here. Our health and safety should always be up here. Now let's approach this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What if somebody just took out all the St. Augustine and just put in something like crabgrass instead?
Hey, man.
What would that look like?
Hey, at least at the very least, it would be uniform.
Yeah, at least it's like, hey, now if there's the crabgrass St. Augustine, and it's like patch and this and that.
It would be a uniform plant. I'll tell you what I would be curious though to find out, because this would be like the very most important question in my opinion, is what would the water holding capacity of that lawn be?
Because of all the
deep roots and
and all
everything,
that.
and how it's opening up the soil. Like, what if you're able to capture like 40,000 gallons on 4,000 square feet during a heavy rain? Think about the flood impact that would have, right? The beneficial.
Prevention of flooding in areas.
Yeah. Woo! I'm like, yo. Oh, yeah, I didn't flood in Harvey because I had crabgrass.
Nothing but crabgrass.
Dude, like, that was worth it. That saved you heartache and thousands of dollars.
We're going to have to call our city councilman. Something we're gonna have to do, show up to a league city council meeting and bring this up.
So I've always like had this thought. I've had a few thoughts really, like the 3 E's, you know, environment, ecology, environment, and economy.
Mm-hmm.
Economy should come last because it always comes first, and then we have to go back and fix stuff that's ruining everything else, and then it further impacts our economy later on. It happens every friggin' time. But then like the whole like let's promote impact per square foot, because we're a lot of homeowners, right? And even if you're not a homeowner, maybe you live in a condo, maybe you live in an apartment, right? But there's like some square foot around you of green space or soil space, and how healthy is it? And what's it able to absorb? What's it giving back? What are you giving to it so it can give to you, right? Because I look around and I'm constantly getting like very sad. Every corner we turn around, up and down 96 and 45 and everywhere, all these grassy areas, all these, you know, potentially like kind of marshland, you know, diverse areas are getting scraped away and developed. So now we got an 8,000 square foot plot here, and 10,000 square foot plot here, and a 30,000 square foot plot here. And I'm thinking like, all this soil is being covered up with concrete. And then guess what's going to happen? It's going to rain again. And people are going to be like, I don't know why it flooded. Well, where the hell did the water go?
It doesn't have nowhere to
It didn't go in the
drain.
soil.
Yeah.
It went on the concrete, on all these man-made rivers you now created.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, do you remember how Dickinson was down 517? Now, yes, I get it. It was a big, big deal and a big rain. But just imagine, there's been stuff put together by other people that I know, like a part of OBA and stuff like that. That's Organic Horticultural Benefits Alliance, where I've learned a lot of stuff over the years. That said, like, what was it? If 2/3 of Houston was organic, we could have handled like 2/3 of Harvey's water without flooding.
Just because the soil would have absorbed
Yeah.
better and the water had somewhere to go.
Yeah. You're talking about, what did they say? You know, upwards of billions of dollars of damage or something crazy, astronomical, right? And so I'm here to say, like, what's our impact per square foot? Because it's disappearing every day. So might as well, like, get the highest density freaking environmental impact per square foot that we can, right? Instead of a treat and defeat mentality. Let's feed it. Let's support it, because gosh dang it, it supports us.
Yeah.
Do you know someone who doesn't breathe air?
I don't.
Me either. Right?
Yeah.
Do you know someone who doesn't drink water to live?
You need it.
I don't either. Or eat food.
No.
Right? We need those things. Those are like the most three precious things. And I was thinking about this the other day. You know, of course, I'm a fan of soil. I love soil, right? But I'm thinking, like, what's actually the most important of those three things? What would your opinion be?
So it's food, water, air.
No. Let's say air, water, soil.
Air, water, soil. So of the three, I'm going to say water.
Okay. No, I like that answer. I mean, it's your first instinct. It's your opinion, right? And my opinion is air, actually.
Okay.
Okay? And the reason why is because, unfortunately, it's a fortunate thing, but it's unfortunate. Like, we can take all kinds of funky water and filter it, right? You don't have to worry about soil as much. We should, and we do have to, but it's a long-term thing, like, because we can get clean food sources, and a lot of the food somehow comes from soil, right? But the thing that's like the hardest, because it's in an open space and it's not so controllably like filtered, is air. You know?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, we can get our water filtered for sure. We can get, cleaner food sources. For us, there's a lot of places and countries that can't or have a harder time. So we're very fortunate there. But what if we get in a situation where even in an affluent community, we had a nasty impact on the air? That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I guess like you had said, so water, like you can find a filtration, so you can individually do that. There's not like secondhand, water. There's secondhand, pollution. And then for soil, we usually have access to food and stuff.
Yeah.
But so that does make sense.
And so I'm just like, but the cool thing is again, going back to my favorite thing, the soil, like, it's just a natural thing that when you have a focus on truly healthy soil, organic soil, which the term organic soil blows my mind, because
it should all be, organic.
Like, soil should always be organic, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like an oxymoron kind of thing.
It's like organic food. I know Dr. Chapa will say the same thing. It should just be food, but what you're eating is not food. If you go through some of these, fast options like that,
right?
Same thing. It should be soil. It's just soil.
Right.
No, it's organic soil.
Yeah. And people ask me that too. They're like, "Well, are you putting down organic soil?" And I'll admit, sometimes I want to chuckle. Like, no, it's processed. I got soil I picked up from McDonald's.
Yeah. It's fast soil.
Yeah. I mean, I make it fast.
Yeah.
Dude, I make it like lightning fast compared to if you look up how soil and nature is created. It's incredible. But so what I was going to say is, like, it's a natural effect. when you feed soil and improve soil biology, right, and have that be your focus, you're naturally going to have better water because soil cleans the water, and what you're putting into soil gets in the water somehow. And then the same with like your air. If you're promoting healthier soil, then you're not putting these other contaminants in our environment polluting the air. So it's like these beautiful, simple things that are a healthy side effect of promoting soil biology, supporting soil biology. Like hop on that SSB train, you know?
Yes. So that's a SSB. That's one of the acronyms.
Yeah.
And before we went on air, you were talking about another one.
S.A.F.E.
S-A-F-E. What is that?
That's right. S.A.F.E. for animals, family, and the environment. All right. So if it's not those two acronyms, you know, if it doesn't support soil biology, and if it's not safe for your animals, your family, and your environment, what the heck are you doing? We should ask ourselves that question because it's important. If your animal dies, it makes you sad, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a family member gets sick or dies, doesn't it make you sad?
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So it should be like of our highest concern and importance that what we do has a positive impact on them, that it's safe and it supports soil biology.
And I would say those are your two like foundation principles for Hippie Fertilizing and what you believe in, right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They have been. That's what Hippie Fertilizing started with. That's what we're going to end with. That's what it's always going to be. Do I want to be like, you know, in a sense, leading in innovation in organic fertilizer? Heck yeah. Okay. It's going to change. It's going to evolve. It's going to improve. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be like the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. But it's never going to change those core values. Never. It's got to be safe. It's got to support soil biology because if it doesn't, it's not Hippie Fertilizing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, earlier we were talking about a couple things, the super soil conditioner and the Hippie blends. Can you remind everybody, I guess, how to get that and what it is and who it's for?
So, super soil conditioner and Hippie blends is for anybody with grass, with flower beds. You can get it through hippiefertilizing.com. Click on the Buy Here page. They should be like in the middle of the page. And so the Hippie blends, both are like, you could say, proprietary things that I put together. And I got off the phone with a customer the other day. And he's like, man, AJ, I haven't seen you in a while, but I can't deny, like, I know you've been here because I'm mowing my grass like twice a week.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year, he's like, well, I don't know, AJ. I mean, he was like, he's trying hard to get off that kill the weeds thing.
The SSB train.
Yeah, because, you know, him and I have clashed, right?
Right.
It's kind of funny. He's super cool, but I think he likes clashing with me just to pick a nerve.
Some people are like that.
Yeah, but, you know, it teaches me to be a better person, right? Because then, like, how do I approach this? All right. How do I, like, try and walk us both off the ledge of the argument, right? But anyway, he was like, oh, I don't know what I'm paying for. My lawn doesn't look that great. And da-da-da-da. It was early in the season. You know, we had bad weather. It seems like it stays cooler longer. So, like, the soil temperatures are slower to heat up. So, like, the results aren't consistently like, oh, this is going to happen in March and this is going to happen in April. Like, it may take till May because how much slower it seems to be heating up during those times. And then, boom, we get to summertime. It's 100 degrees instantly. But he was super happy. He's like, oh, yeah, there's a difference. And we've been putting down some proprietary Hippie blends on them lawns.
Mm-hmm.
Man, our monthly fertilizing lawns are looking better than they ever have because I'm playing with, like, mixtures. So if you get a Hippie blend, I can guarantee you, my friend, you're getting some high density, high impact, super supporting soil biology stuff.
Yeah.
That you ain't going to find anywhere else on the market but from the Hippie.
Awesome. Hey, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
So I see my boy Jason, okay, on there. He is part owner of Healthy Soil Organics, and out in Houston, right next to Microlife, in the Houston area, they deliver organic fertilizer. You know, he provides it. Like, I deliver in the local area. I stopped doing all the other stuff because I got my own stuff now. Like, if it's not a Hippie blend, I ain't messing with it because I know how to bring the soil back. But yeah, shout out to Jason. Shout out to my people in League City, my followers, my friends, my supporters, and even sometimes my adversaries, because y'all inspire me.
Yeah. Hey, and you have a TikTok. How can somebody follow you on TikTok?
I guess just search Hippie Fertilizing.
Yeah, it's
right?
at Hippie Fertilizing, I think.
Yeah.
I know I follow you on there.
Yeah.
When I don't get on there that much, only whenever I'm going to Jersey Mike's, because that's what people want to see.
They want
to see a sandwich. It's weird.
Dude, I love a sandwich, so
yeah,
I've seen
you
a
should
couple
try
of them.
If you go to Jersey Mike's ever, just say, what kind of sandwich is that? Because we have done 3 videos and it has almost like 2 million views on, I think, on 3 videos that we've done. It's over 1.5 million. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
I like Jersey Mike's.
Me too, but not that much. It doesn't make. It is delicious.
I mean, I think my favorite is like the Kroger's in League City.
Yeah,
right next to YMCA. Oh, their sandwiches are the best, dude.
Awesome.
So if you haven't checked that out, y'all, it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, but hey, seriously, check out hippiefertilizing.com. I even have a YouTube channel. I have an Instagram. I have a TikTok. Of course, I'm on Facebook. I have some followers who followed me for a long time, and they send in pictures, and I tell you what, my followers' pictures who do their own lawns based on for what I recommend will blow your freaking minds, okay? So I'm dropping tips and hints all the time, okay? It's free information. I want everyone to do it and use it and whatever. So give me a like, give me a follow. Jump on the SSB train. Let's make a difference together, because that's the biggest way we're going to make an impact, is all of us just doing a little bit.
And just remember that nobody knows grass
like a hippie.
It's KHEA Radio 99.